Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday morning. May 19th, we are looking at window traders. Market profile of SPY, IWM and triple Qs. And in last night's video we said, is this just some weak longs getting out for the past 3 days or something more? Well, right now we're definitely getting a pretty good follow through as 3 days of longs in SPY and ES, whoever's still long, are ready to get out. We'll show you everything. We're going to get to the bottom of a 6-day balance. We possibly testing the 50-day moving average. A lot going on. I'll show you the daily charts in the 3 of these indices. Right now, all are looking to open with a pretty sizable gap to the downside. Again, gap rules apply, but in context, the bigger the gap, the less likely I would get involved on the short side right away. Might actually take a long against the 50-day moving average in SPY. We'll get to that in a moment. The important thing for Russell, remember they've been back and forth through an inside month down a couple of times. Well, right now they're $1 above last month's high again. So it'll be interesting if they hold it or get acceptance below it. We had wide pops yesterday, 10 for 10 wide. We were only 8 wide, but still it was 8 for 8 wide at one point. Let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So right now, the first destination on the upside would be yesterday's low of 411.77 to fill the gap. Right now it's 400 tick gap. That's fairly large, right? That's a pretty large gap, especially inside of a balance. So volume right now about 850,000 with 90 minutes to go prior to the opening. So 411.77. Then we have 412.32, my pre-market high. Then we have the price probe, 413.10, which was K's low. Then the price spike, 414.46, which was B's low, right? Very, very important levels. And then 415.49 afternoon rally high, and 416.06, yesterday's high, which was right at the 20-day moving average. For the downside, we're wiping out a lot. We had a 9 wide pop from the 13th at 410.82. That will now become an upside destination. So actually inside the gap, that will be your first destination. That 410.82, 9 wide. We had 407.84 afternoon pullback low from the 13th. We're right below that, so we'll still use it. Then we have 407.02 daily low. Then the real important one, 404.79. That's last week's low. It's the bottom of the 6-day balance. And remember, I called the weekly down because it had stretched that previous balance by so much. Below that, I still have single prints from April 5th. 404.78 get filled at 63. And then we'll give you a couple more on the downside because we have the real big one, the weekly gap, right? The weekly low, 403.38. Weekly low and filling the gap at 400.67, 271 point gap from April 5th. So game plan for this morning. Well, obviously we're going to be getting volume and volatility, which is the lifeblood of a day trader, right? If we to open, I would look for an inventory adjustment sooner rather than later to see if we alleviate any of these overnight, right? The entire market short from yesterday afternoon, overnight, and this morning. If we are to trade directly down to the 50-day moving average, which right now in SPY is 406.61 prior to the opening, I would look to take a long the first time there. In fact, I would like to see that happen the first time before we get an inventory adjustment to see if we pull back down to 406.61, take a long against the 50-day moving average, and then get some sort of inventory adjustment. That's one play. If that inventory adjustment, if that 50-day moving average does not hold, well, then we will go test that weekly low of 404.79. That's for sure. As far as a put play, if we are to open and drive straight up, taper off, I will start a short play. Until that gap is filled, until the price probe and price spike are taken back from yesterday, any pushes up, I will look for shorts unless this market proves that they not only can one time frame up, but go trend day up, which I would not expect early this morning. Again, 2 very early plays in CamelbackTrading.org's voice channel room. And then on the charts, and I'm going to show you the daily in all 3 of these because I think it's rather important. So let's start with the Russell. 3 days, they attempted, yesterday they got right up. Look at the 20 and 50-day moving average trading right at each other. Yesterday they got right up to it and failed. So the big number to me is last month's low of 215.24. If they hold it, maybe they're going to get some bounce off of it. If they do not hold it, it'll be another attempt at an inside month down with a week and a half left to go in this month. Look at the triple Qs. 3 days in a row. 4 out of 6. Look what they did at the 50. Couldn't really get above it, battled it the whole time, and now coming out of a 3-day balance on a sizable gap. The next destination will be the bottom of that 6-day balance, which is 316 on the nose. Right? We're $1.50 above it right now, pre-market. We'll see if that holds. And then the SPY. SPY is pretty interesting. So, again, you could have called this a 3-day balance, 6-day balance, whatever you'd like. The bottom line is this. We're coming out of a 3-day balance on a gap to the downside where we're going to get very close to testing the 50. The bottom of that balance, like I said, is 404.79. Now, here's what's interesting about so far in 2021. We've only traded below the 50-day moving average 5 days so far this entire year. 4.5 months in. We only closed below the 50-day moving average, I think, once or twice. We closed at 3.7. There's one day on January 29th we closed below it. March 4th we closed below it, and I think that might be it. So 2 days so far out of this entire year, we've closed below it. We've only traded below it 5 days. So it will be very interesting. If we get any acceptance below it, we will go. Remember, we talked about that weekly gap and then the monthly gap. And I could certainly see us getting to the 3. I've been saying this now, 393, 403 level. Well, I'm sorry, 398, 403 level. I mean, the interesting thing is I thought we'd get it when we traded down on May 12th. And then what happened? Inside day and popped. But we never, talk about a nuance. We had a 254 tick gap. We've got 222 cents of it and left 32 cents. And then that's all we've gotten. So again, should be interesting. We should have our opportunities today. Good luck trading today. Be smart. Have a great day. And we'll recap at 4 p.m.